The just should live by a message of faith instead of a message coming from a bearer of bad news. If the bearer of bad news happens to be your mama, your doctor, your preacher, or somebody else, you shouldn't live by it. The just shall live by faith or good news. Don't come telling me a whole lot of foolishness and expect me to live by it. Don't come with no negativity and expect me to live by it. Don't come with something saying that I can't when the gospel done told me I can and expect me to live by it. Say to your neighbor, you better watch how you talk to me, because I don't live by any old thing. I live by good news. Yeah, I know bad is happening, but I ain't living by that bad. I'm losing y'all. I'm not losing you. Say to your neighbor, the just shall live by faith or good news. Ask another neighbor, what are you living by? You don't know what the doctor told me. I don't have to know what the doctor told you. I know what God said. The doctor gave me some bad news. Are you going to live by it? They just gave me some bad news at the bank. Are you going to live by it? They just gave me some bad news at my company. Are you going to live by it? The just shall live by all. Lord have mercy. Let me hurry. Let me show you something. Romans, the 14th chapter. Verse 22 is where we'll start, but my focus is verse 23. Romans 14:22. Do you have faith? Have it to yourself before God. Happy is he who does not condemn, help me, in what he approves. But he who doubts is condemned if he eats, because he does not eat from faith. Oh God. For whatever is not from faith is sin. That bearer of bad news that does not talk faith based upon this verse is talking sin. Romans the 6th chapter, verse 23. For the wages of sin, help me. For the wages of sin is, say to your neighbor, I ain't gonna let no words cause me to die. Say to another neighbor, I'm not going to allow bad news to kill me. Yeah, I heard what he said, but I'm not going to allow those words to kill me. Whatever is not from faith is sin. And the wages of sin is death. I ain't gonna live by no death threat. You think I'm gonna live by the threat of death? You telling me I'm gonna die? Yeah, I know I'm gonna die. The Bible done already said it's once appointed for me to die, but it's not gonna be on your timetable. And when I do die, it's going to be a blessing. Because precious is the death of the saints in his sight. Am I talking Bible? But I am not going to allow words of bad news to cause me to succumb when it's not my time. The devil is a liar. And you are too if you expect me to live by it. It's too heavy for y'all. It's making you mad. You're not getting nervous, are you? Your neighbor, he talking Bible. I have to live by good news. That's the reason I want to hear the gospel as often as I can. Sometimes I hear the announcer say, stop by the media center and get a tape for somebody else. The devil is a liar. I'm going to get me a CD or a tape for myself. And maybe somebody else. But I got to work out my soul salvation first. Because how many know some messages that you hear, you need to hear them again and again and again and again. And after you get it in your spirit, pass it on. See, some of us, we live by bad news. I'm going to give you an example. You went to the doctor. Now, before I even say this, how many would be honest? Some doctors are the most negative folk you'll ever want to meet. You get back from the doctor. He done gave you a bad report. And so you call up somebody. And they ask just a simple question. How are you doing? Well, you know, I was all right this morning. Thought about what the pastor preached on Sunday. But I had to go to the doctor. And doctor said it ain't looking good for me. So it's been a rough day. I ain't doing good. You know what's happening? You're living by the news that he told you. Hold on before you get mad at me. Why not reverse it and live by the gospel? For instance, go with me to Psalms, the book of Psalms. Lord have mercy, I'm getting ready to close it. Go with me to the book of Psalms now. Y'all all right? Y'all sure? Okay. Now notice the 34th Psalm. Psalms 34. Verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of, help me. Listen to me. We're talking about just people. Just people live by good. His report could be factual. But the bottom line is, you know about another report.